Hey, Marianne.
Yeah, Lee.
What do John Looney, that guy,
Hi, John.
my husband Rob, and E.E. Baker have in common?
They all resided in Kewanee.
Well, yeah. But we'll find out what else during our podcast.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And, hey, have you hugged your boiler today?
we have one in the basement here. Let's go hug it.
We should.
Okay, let's go.
Buckle up. It's time for Kewanee Memory Lane, where we cruise down the 4 lanes of Kewanee history with a detour of fun uncovering the past, coming to you straight from the Kewanee Historical Society in the heart of downtown Kewanee. Here are your hosts, Marianne and Leanne.
Hi, I'm Leanne.
And I'm Marianne. Welcome to another episode of Kewanee Memory Lane.
So, hey, Marianne, here we are again, back at our desk
I know.
for another episode of Season 2.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see what comes out of Season 2.
Me too.
So today we wanted to start off with show and tell. What did you bring, Marianne?
I brought this picture of this man. Why are you laughing? Okay, I'm going to show Lee.
Yeah,
Who does this look
I've
like?
seen it before.
It looks like Woody Harrelson.
It does look like Woody Harrelson.
You guys, I was like cleaning
I was
in
there.
the museum one day. Oh, that's right. I can't fool you. So I'm like dusting, and there's a lot of stuff to do here at the museum when we're not, whatever. And I'm dusting, and I'm like in the church section. I was like, "What the hell is Woody Harrelson doing dressed up like a reverend? Got the collar and everything, So I had to, I just decided to do a little show and tell with him today and figure out who this guy is. So I opened it, and it says it's Reverend Father Franken, F-R-E-N-C-K-E-N. So anyway, he was a Catholic priest from He was born in Belgium. He ended up in Kewanee in the early 1900s. He helped a lot at the Visitation Catholic Church. And then he helped lay the cornerstone in 1917 to St. Joseph's Church.
Okay.
Which was on Central Boulevard. It faced Central Boulevard, kind of by like the radio station's parking lot where First Federal used to be. So, and for some reason, I don't know why, I'd have to do more research, but they ended up tearing that church down in 1986. So 69 years, I think, if I'm adding correctly. But anyway, I just can't get over the fact that this looks like Woody Harrelson.
It does.
Maybe it's his grandpa. Oh, sorry.
Well, that's a priest.
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah. So what did you bring?
Well, I upped our show and tell game today.
Oh.
And
Did you do a twofer?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I brought one of the most important, I would say, pieces that we have here at the museum. This is called the Lincoln Lantern, and it comes with this little explanation. I'll read it. Abraham Lincoln used this lantern in October of 1858 to light his way for the latter half of the evening ride from Toulon to Kewanee. It was loaned to him by the Saxon postmaster, Charles Robson, when Lincoln and Company stopped at his post office / home. The lantern was returned to Robson the next day with the mail from Kewanee. And it was gifted to us in 2004 by the Robson family. And I just can't get over
It's 166 years old.
Abraham Lincoln touched it.
Like he touched it.
He touched it.
His DNA's got to be on there.
I'm not going to go looking for
Where's
it.
our fingerprint kit?
I have a feeling there's a lot of fingerprints
I think
on
it's
this.
really, considering the age, is in pretty good condition.
Yeah. We
it's-
keep it in a case downstairs, but everybody's welcome to come see it when we're open and read the history of the family and of why it is here. So
Yep.
I think
That's cool. I'm glad that you showed that.
That is one of my favorite pieces. Like I said, it's a pretty important to the museum.
Well, yeah, Woody Harrelson pales in comparison. So thanks. You trumped me. God. Oh, anyhow.
So today, I thought we would talk about E.E. Baker as E.E. Baker, not as the Boiler Man and stuff like that, because everybody knows, well, not everybody. If you're new here, Kewanee Boiler was started by E.E. Baker.
The man behind the man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Love it.
Anyway, so this is a picture. I have lots of pictures to share.
Well, I know you kind of gave me a little, tease that, there's a lot that we don't know about him, so I've just been so eager to find out about him.
Well, there's not, I don't know. But there's things that, well, it'll probably be inside information to you and I.
Okay.
But that I find fascinating that you will too.
Okay.
So this is the guy we think of when we think of E.E. Baker, the man and the boiler, right?
Yeah.
But so much other stuff that he did in Kewanee, and some of it was new to me, and he was just a great guy. And you read about him, and everybody thought he was a great guy, a real down-to-earth kind of guy. But dang, he accumulated a lot of money.
Lots of cash.
Lots of money here in Kewanee.
Was he married?
Yes, he was. So he was, but there's no kids.
Oh, man. Oh.
There's no kids. And so the Baker family is done.
Yeah.
He did have a brother, which we'll go into, and I don't remember if he had kids, but in Kewanee, there's no Baker ties anymore.
Okay.
So anyway, E.E. Baker. So in 1843, Nestor and Anna Spaulding Baker came to Illinois and settled near Aurora, Illinois. Okay, so that's 1843. E.E. Baker's father, Samuel, was 21 when he came to Aurora, and I think they came from I don't know where they came from. I want to say Ohio, but that's probably wrong.
I can't remember. Because I was researching the cousin BF, and I can't remember.
And Samuel's brother, Nelson, was much younger than him. And that's where the cousin comes in. So they arrived in Aurora in 1843, and in April 10th, 1855, E.E. Baker was born. Emerit E. Baker was born. And so I have Kane County, and then I couldn't find anything. Oh my gosh. Granted, it was a long time ago. I tried the Aurora Library. I tried the recorder's office. There's nothing.
Newspapers.com.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing that mentions them. Or,
that's very
they
strange.
were just a random family near Aurora. The only thing that I did find was an 1872 plat map that shows S.B. Baker's homestead.
Okay.
So they were real people.
Yeah.
They were there. So, yeah. And I know that...
It's like they were maybe out in the country or...
Well, it seems that way, but it said 3 miles.
Huh. Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They were in the country.
That's pretty neat.
But this is Aurora Township, so this is just one township.
That's pretty cool.
In the county. So in 1872 is when the next time I find E.E. Baker, and that was from the Lanark Gazette. And at age 17, he's an office boy for the Anderson Steam Heaters in Chicago. I know that he did 15 years of country school.
Okay.
And then 2 years of high school in Aurora. So
at that time, that's kind of
that's pretty
good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
For being a country boy.
So what was he doing for Anderson?
He was just an office boy.
Okay.
I don't know what that meant.
Well, probably running papers around, doing errands, yeah.
Yes. In 1873, he arrived in Kewanee, and with Anderson.
Okay.
With Anderson Steam.
Do you know what his role was then when he came into Kewanee?
Well, I saw this from the 1876 directory, travel agent. I don't know what that means. That is after Anderson became the Haxton Steam Heater Company.
I'm kind of wondering if he was the one that was kind of coordinating people's move here to work for the company.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I don't know,
guessing.
But he obviously, had the wherewithal and they trusted him enough. He moved down here with from Chicago
they gave
with
him
Anderson.
Responsibility.
Right. And in 1876, we know that he was a boarder with Mrs. Adeline Harper on, it says, resident East Side Chestnut Street, south of 2nd. So, that's right here.
Across from Parkside.
Across from Park. I don't know.
I think.
Yeah. And in 1876, I don't know what was there.
In Kewanee about that time was like 22 years old. So,
yeah,
I mean,
I don't think those
landscape
buildings
has changed. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So we know he was I don't know, how old was he? 55, 65, 70, 21. And he was a boarder with Mrs. Harper.
Yeah.
And in that census, it was, there was a lot of boarders there. Like 4 or 5 young
Good
men.
Way to make money for an older lady.
Yeah, it sounded like she had 2 kids. One of them was a teacher or something like that. So, and then in 1883, he was elected director of Haxton Steam Heater, and in charge of them of the Haxton Steam Heater Company was W.E. Haxton, J.H. Pierce, which we've heard that name, E.E. Baker, N.D. Bailey, and Horton Vale.
He moved up the ranks pretty quickly.
Right. So 83. From 73 to 83, he's now a director of the company.
He's about 31.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in 1884, Anderson Steam Heater merges with Kewanee Roll-Up and Pipe Mills and becomes Haxton Steam
I've never
Heater.
heard of.
I don't. They made pipes, pipe fitter.
Interesting.
Stuff. Yeah, and that's where
we always learn something new too.
Right, and this is this Haxton Steam Heater office. I just think that it doesn't look like an office; it looks like a house. And that sat on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
Facing Main.
Really nice structure.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
then here's an advertisement for this Haxton. See?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Now, is this where Walworth
Yes.
had been? Oh.
This is where Wall is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was Haxton. So
I envision the tracks over here, maybe. I don't know.
that tracks are back here.
Oh.
Oh, maybe that is 3rd. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
That must be 3rd Street.
It could be Main. Just, I don't know.
I don't
the way
know.
it's situated.
And then in 1883, B.F. Baker, which I know
Benjamin Franklin
Baker is doing some work on that side of the family with his daughter. He arrives in 1883. He was in the banking business of some kind for a while, and that's a picture of him. I just think he just looks so nice.
He has nice
with his
eye.
little boiler, because he went and
yeah.
helped with the boiler afterwards too.
Look how he's holding his pen.
I know, isn't that
That's
odd?
weird.
He's holding it like this.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
anyway,
Weird.
in 1891, Haxton Steam Heater becomes Western Tube, and E.E. becomes Vice President, Treasurer, and Director
Of Western Tube.
of Western Tube.
Okay.
So, I've heard stories. Of course, you're not going to find this documented or anything. That he, at the beginning times of Western Tube, he would have to walk around town and ask for loans
Oh, really?
to make payroll.
Wow. And I mean, I don't know how many people were working there then, how much money that would have been.
Yeah, I
but
don't
that's
know.
like,
Can
that's
you
got to be
imagine?
pretty discouraging.
Yeah. And embarrassing. I mean,
Yeah.
but at least, I want to say, well, at least He wasn't from here.
Yeah. They don't really know me.
They don't really know me. And in 1892, Western Tube sells the boiler plant that they decided to just start making tubes for boilers. And
I think I know where you're headed with this.
And so it becomes Kewanee Boiler Company.
Okay.
And it occupies the same place on Main Street. So it would be like where right south of the tracks there, where like the entrance to Walworth was. It was right along there.
Okay.
And that's where the boiler shop was there.
Okay.
And so they and then they even planned on staying there for a while, and they built another building that was 2 stories to house the offices, but it didn't end up happening. But in the 1893 directory is interesting because we now have Benjamin F., treasurer of KB Company, so Kewanee Boiler Company, at 302 West Prospect, and EE, president at 302 West Prospect.
Oh, so the cousins were living together.
Yeah.
302 West Prospect.
Yeah.
So is
So
that
no.
302 West...
No.
Oh,
I know.
okay. I'll stop. Sorry, guys. I get just into it.
So the village in 1897, in 1897 is when Kewanee becomes a city. Okay, it was a village before that.
Oh,
And
okay.
I know at least in 1895, EE was running for village president. On the citizens ticket, there was a Republican ticket, a Democratic ticket, and a citizens. Like there was 3 parties running.
I've never heard of the citizens ticket.
I think that Galvez still has the citizens ticket.
Huh.
Do they?
People's Party.
Oh, People's
Party.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
But Emerit Baker is running on the citizens ticket.
I recognize another name.
Yeah,
Frank Whiffen.
Frank. There's everybody's name here. Matthew Blish, William Zhang,
The
Hugh
movers
Hill.
and shakers
yeah,
of the time.
everybody in Kewanee.
Heaps. Does that say Israel Heaps? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was elected village president at that time.
Oh, wow.
And I think that it was for 2 years is when they, because the next election was when they were going into council mayor form of government.
Okay.
So he was not elected mayor.
Okay.
His friend Pierce was Pierce that ran Western Tube. So your buddy became mayor. It's not. I don't think it was that big a deal for him. But also, he was also on the fire department. I mean, this guy, he's the mayor or city man or village president. He runs the boiler, and he's on the fire department.
I never knew he was on the fire department.
Yeah, and I found this in the 1893 directory. This is Kewanee Fire Company number 1, and he is listed as an officer, as a foreman. Oh. And it's interesting. So it's divided chemical, hook and ladder, and hose cart. And William Pierce down here is on the hose cart. B.F. Baker's somewhere on there too. B.F. Baker's in the chemical.
Wow. Look at the number of guys.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
I don't know if this was a city thing or whether it was volunteer.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
I haven't.
I don't know. I'm not going to make that call. So that was 1893. In 1900, at age 45, he marries Jenny Hallen, who's 41. And she's the daughter of Bernard Hallen, who ran a tailor shop on West 2nd Street.
And actually, I think a building behind us has their name at the top of the building.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes. So, and then here's their marriage license. I always love marriage licenses.
Me too. I love these kind of documents.
They were married at the Congregational Church. B.F. Baker and Anna Eddy were the witnesses.
Very cool.
So, in 1900, the boiler also moves to Franklin Street, and it has 7 acres out there. Wow. So,
I mean, he went from begging for money to make payroll to...
Yeah, right. But, this is also right after World War, right? It means turn of the century, industrialization, right after World War I. We're building up things and stuff. And then, so then he also does something in Kewanee in 1917. It has to do with this guy. John, who is this guy?
Paul Harris.
Paul Harris. Paul Harris started Rotary International, and he was a friend of E.E. Baker.
Did he start it in Kewanee?
No.
Oh.
He started in Chicago.
Okay.
But E.E. Baker also belonged to a lot of clubs in Chicago.
Oh.
Athletic clubs. I
wonder if he rode the train back and forth. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess they would have to. So this is where my earlier question comes in. What does John Looney, Rob Ballou, and E.E. Baker have in common? Do you know yet, John?
They're all Rotarians.
They were all presidents. Or current president of Kewanee Rotary.
That is so cool.
There you go.
Nice.
And then this is where you were going.
Yeah.
So, he establishes Rotary in Kewanee. He is a friend of Paul Harris, who founded Rotary International in 1905. Okay. And then we have this picture
I love that picture.
of this picture.
I love that picture.
So, don't look at this. Don't look at the thing. But this is a picture of a Rotary meeting in the greenhouse, who's Claude Hamilton's greenhouse, which on 3rd Street, which sat sort of next to, like just south. Well, it was.
I think it's located where the roly-boly
Yes,
outside was
right,
for
right.
Flemish.
So it was kind of like on Walworth property, or
It would have been.
Haxenstein
Yeah.
property. But it was a greenhouse, and they had lunch in there or dinner or something.
I just think it's a really
It is
cool
a
picture.
great picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in 1917, 1918, 1919, this house at 302
Yeah, West Prospect. Oh,
No,
no.
it's 200.
South Vine.
No. It is I thought it was 300 or something. 302. It's 302
Okay.
East. Yes. 302 West Prospect Street. Gosh. Okay. So this house we visited in the Sloan in the Sloan episode from last season.
Right.
So this was the house that E.E. Baker lived in and had his cousin live in, and then his parents came and lived with them in this house.
Wow.
Because his parents had moved. He had a brother named Rollin, and Rollin lived on Vine Street, though. But they all moved down to Aurora.
Okay.
The whole family moved to Aurora. From Aurora to here.
Okay.
And so this house, which we learned, got moved to Vine Street, South Vine Street.
Yeah, the corner of South Vine and East Prospect.
Right. And I had made the discovery in the last episode that the man who was mayor during the Kewanee fire, Mark Saunders, lived in this house.
Oh, yeah.
On South Vine.
Yep.
Well, this is Mark Saunders. They were friends.
Oh my gosh, that is Mark Saunders. Oh wow.
They were friends. So E.E. sold the house
Yeah.
to Mark Saunders, and they moved it over.
Yeah.
I just find, and E.E. was 65 in this picture, and Mark Saunders was 37. So there was quite a bit of age difference, but
But they were friendly.
they were friendly. He just looks like a
Very confident man.
Yeah, and he's young.
Look at all those guys.
Yeah,
Wow. You guys will have to come and see this picture.
yeah. And then that leads up to 1918. The villa is completed. So we know where the villa is in Kewanee. Oh my gosh, one of the most beautiful houses in Kewanee.
So the house was moved because he wanted to build this,
yes,
right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was completed in 1918.
And it's
So-
still standing.
And it's still standing there, and it has the Rotary symbol in it because he was very proud of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite picture that I had blown up for the case downstairs is this backyard party of E.E. Baker.
If you just sit there and look at each
Person
individually,
yes.
You wonder what the story, it's
yes,
just
and
really
we don't know
cool.
what group this is.
Or what year, probably early 1920s.
Yeah.
Hula skirts, they have the lays on.
Yes.
I mean, look at her.
I know, that old lady in the middle. From 1919 to 1921, E.E. Baker started the Chamber of Commerce and was the first president.
Really?
This man.
I did not know that.
I know, right? And everything happened for him in 1919.
Okay.
He started the Park District at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. He went to at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. He said, "Hey, I'm willing to put up $50,000 if we can get a park district put together."
Wow.
Which, I'd like to say, "Hey, I'll give $50,000." But anyway.
He had 50,000 laying around.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Wow.
In 1919, also, he also started the Illinois Society for Crippled Children. He founded and was president for 4 years.
Oh, wow. He really cared about kids.
He didn't
Yeah.
he? I mean,
Yeah.
everything you hear about is has to do with kids. And that society later emerged right before he passed. Later merged with the Elks Children's Care Program, which because he was an elk, and they felt that they could get a broader range of specialists together. But he also was on the chair of the park board because
I would imagine,
yeah. And the first park started by the park district was Northeast. The second one was Liberty Park at the original location, which I always loved this picture. And it's said that E.E.
I love this picture.
wanted Liberty Park there because of his love for children, because he could sit in his office and watch the kids playing outside, and he enjoyed that because he and Jenny never had children. And
a lot of people don't know that there were two different Liberty Parks.
right, yeah, it got moved. Yes, so
That was neat.
and in 1924, he established the E.E. Baker Incorporated, which was a foundation, with $400,000 to endow the Park District, Elks Crippled Children's Fund, and the library. Wow. $400,000 in 1924. That would be $7.3 million
You knew I was going to ask you.
Yes, I know. I wanted to know also. $7.3 million from a guy in Kewanee, Illinois.
Right. Wow.
So in 1928, Kewanee Boiler Company is sold to American Radiator / American Standard and becomes Kewanee Boiler Corp. With E.E. as president until his death. So that was in 1928. In 1929, E.E. Baker, January 1st, 1929. So E.E. Baker dies in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Huh.
They had gone, I found ship manifests from Honolulu, from Bermuda. They traveled, Jenny and
Bermuda.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
So how old was he when he passed?
74.
Okay.
74.
Okay.
He died, it says, from cirrhosis of the liver with portal stasis. So, yeah, ended up with a heart problem from cirrhosis.
Gotcha.
But that happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So, that's his
So you found his death
his
certificate.
death certificate. And for the funeral, he was laid in state at the Masonic Lodge. People could go visit him. Then the service was held in his home at the villa. Rotary Quartet sang, and there was another soloist. A Reverend Dr. Wilfred E. Mann led the service and quoted, I'm going to read in Latin, everybody. Si momentum requiris circumspic something. I hadn't practiced it, but anyway.
Try it again.
I'll do it in English. It'll do it in English. If you seek his monument, look about you. Which I think that is so fitting for E.E. Baker.
Yeah.
You know, just still today, look around, and he's still here. He even funded, part of that E.E. Baker Incorporated funded loans for kids who wanted to go to college, specifically kids whose parents worked at the boiler.
Wow.
A lot of them didn't pay it back.
Wow.
Because, you know, he died in 1929, January 1st, and we all know what happens later that.
So almost 100 years later, we still know who this guy is and talk about him.
Yeah. And his cousin, BF, became the president of the boiler at his death, but he only lasted a year.
Okay.
Because, you know.
He probably was getting older, had health issues.
And the Depression hit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The crash.
The crash happened in 29. So,
Yeah.
So, I do want to thank Larry Locke for all his writings on the boiler. There was a lot of info here and online. Dean Crew for information for the parks. Susan Carlson at the library.
She's a great
researcher.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She has a local history collection that you can ask to look at. It is under lock and key, but she had a book that was a one of one that Jenny Baker put together of all the there was notes that had, when E.E. Baker passed, that were written about him, and you know all the movers and shakers. You know that Paul Harris wrote in.
That'd be a cool read.
Yeah, and we have a photocopy of it in the basement. But if you go see her at the library and ask to look at this book, there's an engraving in there that is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And the engraving was $1,500 because all the prices are in the book too.
Oh,
all the bills for the book are with the book.
Wow.
And I just think
I like that picture.
that is a beautiful picture of him. But anyway, that's E.E. Baker as E.E. Baker. Yeah.
We'll have to try to find out more about him on the fire department.
Yeah, and the Chamber of Commerce. I just find him fascinating. A farm boy from Aurora came and
decided to come to Kewanee
and left his mark here.
Yeah, he did for sure.
So
wow. Well, thanks for doing the research.
Yeah,
it was. To hear about him.
Yeah. I found.
I didn't know half of that stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Well, anyway, I think he's a fascinating guy. Yeah, and that he stayed here and didn't go to Chicago, and you know, took an interest of people here. Everybody said he acted like he was your friend. So
nice.
Anyway,
okay.
Well, we want to thank you for coming along again on this journey through Kewanee Memory Lane. And remind you that we will be open the May 1st.
May 1st.
Is a Thursday.
Bring a May basket.
Yeah. It will be open for the season on May 1st. So.
And we'll have Kewanee Trivia, our third annual Kewanee Trivia, April 12th.
Yes, and we do have a couple more coffee talks on the first Saturday of month of
February, March, April. Yeah,
February,
April.
March, April. Yeah.
Yep. So 9 a.m.
We hope to see you soon.
Thanks.
See you
guys later.
See you at the museum. Bye.
Thanks for cruising with us today. We hope you enjoyed the show and you'll join us for our next cruise down Kewanee Memory Lane.